all right. D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. How's everybody doing? We're coming a little different. Not doing the walk, not out about home, right? Got the glasses on because I'm going to do some reading. I did say that as we introduce, and greetings from, like we always do, right? We have our greetings here. We have our gas here, get after self. The coin phrase I created, meaning, and when I seen it, when I was going through the process of getting after self, to me meant getting after yourself and your deficiency of your habits that don't produce for you. It would be like your bad habits that are your giants that could dominate you. Activate the disciplinarian within you, that aspect that's in you, not outside of you, and activate it and have it take its course, because that disciplinarian you will shake the tree, will shake it all up. Hear what I'm saying? Will shake it up. Make the changes necessary for you to make the adjustments, because this is all about the toolbox, right? This is about your toolbox for yourself. We're looking to do the work on ourselves to grow into the full stature of the frequency and vibration as far as to expand into unity. That's one of the things I keep really stressing here. We're not going after the division. Division's been done to us. It's been divide and conquer mentality for a long time. So we're going to change the mathematic problem to adding to self, the greater part of self, and multiplying self, tapping into your abundance, your gifts that you know that you may have that you have never activated. What are your very possibilities that you've never tapped into yet? What is your superhero within, if you want to use that, or capabilities? Notice, yeah, superheroes, and you have capabilities. Because in superheroes, what they always wear usually? They wear capes. Why? It's really an aspect of you put out in movies and in entertainment, but the reality is you can tap into it on yourself and do the real version. You don't have to do the holly tree, Hollywood. Oh, it's from a holly tree. It's magic. Yeah. We decode everything in this. That's why it's uncensored. We uncensor it. But this is really about building yourself into your highest capabilities of who you are, right? You really want to build into yourself the highest capabilities who you are. So, one of the things that we're talking about, I said I was going to do a little series. We're starting it now. How do you like my shirt? Those who are in the Wayback Land, if you can read it, you see it's Ray Phoenix, who's a professional wrestler from Mexican descent, which would be Lucha Libre style. Anybody knows him, he's part of a tag team called the Lucha Brothers, Ray Phoenix. But this is very much a copy of Led Zeppelin's own shirt and emblem of when they created their own music company, which was Swan Song. The angel flying over. This is really what it's from, the foundation of where that came from. Where Ray Phoenix's memorabilia is really a copy of that. So yeah. So think about it. So yeah, Ray Phoenix. Yeah, I am. I'm not somebody. You still wrestling? Yeah, I do it. I understand what it is. I like the art of it and when it's done well, and kind of like that. So I kind of know that. At least they admit it's not real. Wink, wink. That came out years ago. That it's choreographed, and it's not decided who's going to win by in the ring. It's decided pre, but how they get there in the art and raw of entertainment. Now that's the skill that they can use and tap into. But besides that, let's get into what we're going to talk about. This is about building ourselves, taking ourselves to the next level. Totally exploration of us using our own tools to elevate us. So we're going to get started with the series. And this series is kind of piggyback off my last video, which was about, right? It was about grounding. How we've, through the, I would say 20, 40 years have decreased grounding among individuals in the generations. And of course you see it being a little older, living it, 70s, 60s, 60s little boy, 70s up into my teenage years. Us in the summer didn't wear shoes. We were out in our bare feet. And grounding, whether we knew it or not, we were connecting to the electromagnetic. So the question really is, can somebody really enhance, upgrade, lift up, raise up their frequency or their vibration energetically? Can they do it? Is there ways that you can help yourself, help you for your next level? It's definitely a must. So I'm going to put on the glasses. I'm going to read a few things. I think this will be a few weeks or a few times we'll do this. I'm not going to go through it all at one time. We will break this up into 2, maybe 3. Not decided yet. But we're going to start with the toolbox. And one of the biggest toolboxes I always say is the toolbox is your awareness. If you get your awareness up and peaking at that, meaning you're aware, and you start to get aware when you go into unawareness. I tagged it as the trance. When you go a little bit out of your awareness zone, you become entranced. That would be a program, right? That kind of the program you would default to when you go out of your awareness. So the awareness is the toolbox. So what is in the toolbox is your tools to make the adjustments needed for you to go to the next level, right? What is in that toolbox? What do you need in that toolbox to help you in your next level of growth? For anybody that's new, getting it and saying, I see this, go back, listen to the last videos on YouTube, go to Spotify, and you'll see it. Anybody that's right with us, or shoot, you love questions and all that. So the toolbox, awareness. Think about that, awareness. Your awareness, when you go out of awareness, you usually trance out. Usually go into trance, you go into all these different thought patterns, usually the pressures of life, fault patterns as the bills, the children, depending on your age, usually those type of things, what needs to be done. It's kind of like when you start meditating, right, which is a big part of this. You'll find out that left brain is just throwing thought after thought after thought and doesn't like to give you a break. Realize, and you didn't realize till you were able to sit still, that this is really what happens. Is it's just chugging shots of it. It's shooting 3-pointers continually, right? So we got the toolbox. One of the biggest, and I call this a portal jumper. I call this the portal entry. If you want to enter into portals, it definitely will work swiftly for you. It can work swiftly for you, and that is harnessing and jumping into being gratitude, being grateful. It is the opposite of unappreciative. It's the most appreciative state. It can change and switch the channels real quick on you when you get into raw emotion that maybe is blinding, like anger, rage, low freak emotions, feeling down and out, all these things. If you tap into gratitude, and if you're like a humbug kind of, and people are like that, where they don't really look to gratitude too much, they're more kind of negative, kind of can be negative, or wait and see attitude, or they don't always start off with they're not cheerleaders. Not all of us are, right? Just to be honest, we're all different. We're all born in different seasons, different dates, different signs. Even the same and born in the same sign are not born in the same minute. So all that stuff plays right into this, right? So gratitude. So you got to tap into your gratitude, right? Your gratitude is, to me, is a very big portal jump. If you start exercising your gratitude, no matter what, you're always going to come forth as always happy and satisfied, and you're very gracious about what you already have. You're not ungracious because what you don't have, which really dips you down low, right? In others, it will take you out of fear. It will actually uplift your experience. It is a big first tool in your toolbox, right? It will lead you into different platforms. The second one I'm going to go into, this is, to me, is it is like your spiritual or your awakening next level eating to sustain. It's meditation and breath work. Somebody asked me, do you have to do this? I would say it's a must. If you don't do this and you're fighting it, you don't know. You're still in the state of not knowing, or you're still trying to fight it. Or like many people have tried to start meditating, right? They've tried to attempt to start meditating. You have to start learning how to start doing those things to make those changes necessary for yourself. So starting to learn to meditate is going to tap into your consciousness and vibration, and you're learning to be still. You're starting to really anchor your soul, is what it is. and you'll start recognizing things that you didn't recognize before, and will give you empowering power to learn how to restrain, and what to restrain from and what to resonate with on thoughts and thought patterns. Big meditation and breath work goes simultaneous like with that. If you learn how to breathe with your meditation, one of the things that people say when they're getting flooded with these thoughts, like a flood, right? When the flood is coming on you and you feel that you're overwhelmed and you're going under, you got to get on top of it. Breath work is what you need, because you're fighting for your breath, right? So when you start learning how to do breath work with your meditation and this focus, you're harnessing focus to get off the thought, and then you think about and you're focused on your breath work. You won't think on the thought. The thought will be like, where did that ship go? Where did that train go? It's not at the stop anymore, because you're focused on your breath work, and you start realizing, oh, my breath. Oh God, you start getting into the crevices of each breath. What frequency and vibration are in the breath? In language, a lot of times breath means spirit, right? Breathe means spirit, breath. I use this correlation of three major things that we do. We take food, we take water, and we have to take breath. Those are like lords. Those are lords, because you have to have them to live even physically, or live physically. So you can go the longest time without food, a shorter time without water, but the very decreased one is breath. You can go the shorter. You have to have breath more frequently than the rest of the other two. So breath work. You get your mind off your negative thoughts that usually try to maneuver you through your C, and what ends up happening is you end up going into the next level of you're concentrating on your breath. So you're getting a familiarity with spirit or breath work within you, and then you start exercising, because there's different exercises in breath work. And what does breath work do? Breath work will maintain, and that does help with you with learning how to deal with things in a very, very vibrant way of problem solving, not being overtaken by so many thoughts. They're like a sea of they're like a tsunami coming in and flooding you out. You're able to distribute and say, oh, I don't ride that ship. That one passes by. That's not my bus today. Let that one go by. You don't interact with all the negative thoughts or thoughts that come, because you learn how to take it. You're in the center of it, and you're in that breath. You make the decision what thoughts to ride and what doesn't ride with you, and what not to worry, and what to resonate with, and what to restrain from. Another one of this, as we go into the next one. We have breath work, right? Another one is think positive thoughts. Now that you've learned and see what thoughts can do, you know that thoughts are all reality. You're not your thoughts, but they are created aspects that come and go that you can jump on and harness your energy to. Now, does your thought take you into a lower vibration and beat you up, or does your thought become creative and sustaining that you can resonate and will resonate with other people? Meaning, think about positive thoughts, and that goes along, harmonizes right with the gratitude that we talked about, the very first key, right? Keys are codes. That's why we're always going to talk about here about pattern recognition, knowing codes, knowing the codes, right? Knowing the codes, knowing which are keys. You can see all in the computer age, in the technology age, your password is a key. Well, before with doors, anything else in the past, key is a code. So what you're learning how to do is use by your language. You got keys and codes that open up doors for you to transfer your vibration and frequency to keep it at a higher space, instead of getting sucked into a lower vibration by thinking negative or riding the negative wave. Have you ever noticed that surfers, if you ever really watch surfers, if you go to the beach and have that accessibility or have surfed, you notice that you'll go and if you really watch surfers don't ride every wave. They start to be, and as they get more and more, I believe, get more and more adept to being good at surfing, guess what they do? They become very choosy on what wave they want to ride, because they're looking for that spectacular wave and energetic field of a wave to ride. They don't jump on every one. You don't jump on every thought. Gratitude and positive thinking. Another one we talked about, it was the last video, getting out in nature. Go out for a walk, energetic exercise, barefoot. Go put your feet on the grass if you're living if you're living in concrete jungles. If you're living in anywhere that would be concrete to you, that's not nature, that ends up being sidewalk, cement, nothing that is connected to dirt and wood and all those things that are nature. Get out of there and go nature and put your feet in the sand, put your feet in the dirt, start connecting with that very, 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 very powerful aspect that you have called grounding. And I talked about it on the last video, how grounding is so important, because grounding is how you activate or reboot your system. Just like with grounding, for anything that you're getting electrical wire connection, you need a ground wire. You need a grounds place. You have to ground it somewhere. So that's why you see when you get your batteries, you need a grounding. And then what happens to batteries? You just don't go, oh, I like the positive. No, you got to plug in both cables to the dualistic plane that we live in. Yes, it's dualistic. That's the reality. And you put it in positive and negative, because negative doesn't always have to be negative, right? We think of negative as always being negative. But if you drink high alkaline water, guess what the quality of the high alkaline water is? It's not positive, it's negative, meaning it's negative in its electrical function in the water, meaning the antioxidants are super low, and actually are antioxidants. The higher are the plus. Antibiotics are in the plus, or antioxidants are in the plus. They actually are poisonous to us and more harmful and create disease and all that stuff with you. So yeah, that's just the facts of this. So go out in nature, go for a walk, whatever turns you on, get around there. Get away from the quarrels you have, get away from the pressures of others, learn how to find space within yourself. Saving space will expand your space. Remember that. There's a day, if you don't get what I'm saying, there's a day you'll go, I know what he meant by that, because it happened to me. And on this last one, we're just going to hit one more. We're just going to hit a couple more. Let me just kind of go through this. Finding good relationships with people who are on a vibration and have the same vibrational mindset with you are. It may not be everybody you're involved in, because this is consciousness. Some people are different degrees, right? Some have not what we call awake at all. Some are awake but not where others are, that expanded into higher realms, but all of us are in different degrees. So it's good to find different people and friends that you can trust and share joy, connection, harmonize, and share some and practice. Look at yourself, evaluate yourself. What do you lack, right? What is your weakness? What is the very thing that causes you turmoil? So one of the values in this is really learning how to accept yourself and self-love. You have the capabilities and abilities to be anything you want to be. And even some of them we haven't tapped into, some of the stuff that we actually have access to, that we've kind of been through the program held from, but we have access to us. And this awakening can help you start accessing some of the gifts that are more than just certain things. You can be a knower before the evidence is there. Yeah. You can definitely start tapping into communicating without saying verbal words, right? All this stuff in a higher realms are there, higher frequency and vibrations of unity, because really what the fact is, what we want to tap into is the matrix of this is very illusionary. It's very much an illusion, the matrix. We are more connected than we are disconnected. Actually, it's an illusion to think we're disconnected. It's a huge delusion. So the fact is, raise your vibration, raise your frequency. If you're looking for that, there's a reason why. You know, there's more capabilities that you can live, to live a more fulfilling life from where you're at, right? Where we're stuck at, and all the reality that we think we're given. We've pushed it unknowingly, but we also are greater than that. So this is why we're here. This was the first one. This is the first one on how to build your frequency and vibration. Is it true? Can you? I say yes, you can, because you have the access to the codes within yourself. And you need to find out all your resources, because you are a resource within, and this whole universe is. Tap in. D-Boy, have a great day.